be amazed how many people complain about the countdown. They always ask, Mr. Duncan, why do you have the countdown at the start of your live stream? It's rather annoying. Well, I have to do that, you see, for technical reasons. Lots of things have to be adjusted. Things have to be turned and pressed. That is the reason why we have 2 minutes on the countdown, you see? I hope that's explained all of that. It is a beautiful autumn day. You can see now we have lots of lovely autumn colours in the garden. Everything looks rather nice, in fact. Here we go. English Addict is back with you once more. And today, it's just me on my own. Someone is looking for sympathy. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope you are feeling happy today. I hope you have a smile on your face and a spring in your step. We are back together once more. My name is Duncan. I talk about the English language. I like English very much. I have been teaching English on YouTube for over 18 years. So I think it is safe to say I do like English very much. Nice to see you here today. A few things to mention. First of all, Mr. Steve is not here today. Sorry, but sadly, Mr. Steve is not feeling very well. You might actually describe Mr. Steve as incapacitated today. Poor Mr. Steve is incapacitated. That is a very interesting word. To be out of action, to have no strength or ability to do something, quite often because of injury or illness. So Mr. Steve has not injured himself, not this time. However, he does appear to have the flu. I know what you're going to say, Mr. Duncan. Does that mean you are going to catch the flu as well? Maybe. So poor Mr. Steve, I think he has influenza at the moment. Not a very nice thing to have. He had a very high temperature this morning, 105, which I think is not very good. That normally means that there is something going on that should not be happening. And he is now in bed, resting, recuperating. So poor Mr. Steve at the moment is incapacitated. I thought we would start today's live stream with a very interesting word, and I think that is a very interesting word. To be out of action, if you have no strength, no ability to move, we can say that you are incapacitated. Sometimes we also use it as an excuse when a person has been doing something they shouldn't be doing. So without actually saying it, instead we say that person is incapacitated. So it could be a number of things. But in Mr. Steve's case, I think it is definitely influenza. Talking of Mr. Steve, I was hungry. I was feeling peckish before today's live stream. I decided to have one of Mr. Steve's pieces of bread. As you know, Steve likes making bread, so I had a slice of Mr. Steve's lovely bread. Even though it is a couple of days old, it is starting to go a little bit mouldy round the edges, but I decided to do it anyway because I was hungry. Sometimes when you are hungry, you will eat anything. We have an expression in English. We might say, I am so hungry I could eat a horse. Some people still eat horses. Some people do, some people don't. So you might be so hungry you will eat anything. So I decided to have some of Mr. Steve's bread. The only problem is he puts too much seed in the bread, lots of seeds. So when he mixes the bread, he puts seed into the bread. And afterwards, I normally find after I have lots of pieces of seed between my teeth. However, I have these, you see, I have my lovely toothpicks. Now, I remember years ago in cafes and restaurants, you would often find these particular things. Toothpicks. They are very useful things for getting pieces of food and hard things from between your teeth, especially if you've had meat, for example. So I find these days if I eat meat, I get quite a lot of food stuck between my teeth. So I always like to have one of these in my pocket. However, I remember in the past you would often see these in restaurants or cafes on the table. Nowadays, of course, it has become unacceptable to pick your teeth with a toothpick. However, I love doing it. There is nothing more satisfying than picking your teeth with a toothpick. I won't do it now because I might offend you. And if there's one thing I don't want to do at the moment, I definitely don't want to offend anyone. However, if I want to look cool, if I want to look as if I belong to some hard gang, I can always put this in my mouth like this. Yeah. Ooh. It's not easy to do. Yeah. Yeah, I belong to a gang. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, nothing. You're going to do nothing about it because I'm a gang member. Look at me. Yeah. I look like Marlon Brando from On the Waterfront. Not very cool, I know. But they are very useful, incredibly useful if you want to remove the food from between your teeth. However, nowadays in England, it is unacceptable to have a toothpick at the table in a restaurant or a cafe. However, here at home, I love nothing more than picking my teeth after a meal. I hope that was not too disturbing for you. Another thing I suppose I should mention, last week, do you remember last week? Something happened last week, didn't it? You know what I'm talking about. And I have been asked if I can make some comments about it. Well, as you know, I am not here to talk about politics or to give my opinions. However, perhaps you would like to give your opinions on the live chat. Yes, we have the live chat, everyone. Hello to the live chat. Here I am, bringing a ray of sunshine into your Sunday. I hope you are having a good day. Congratulations once again, Vitas. You are first. You know what? I am not going to look at the live chat at the start of my live stream because I know who it is. I know the person who is first because it always is. So congratulations to you, Vitas. We also have Florence. We have Claudia. Hello, Claudia. What's cooking, Claudia? What have you got in your pot? What's cooking, Claudia? Is it something spicy or hot? Is it something salty or not? Oh, Claudia, what is in your pot today? What do you have in your pot? Please let us know. Maroots is here. We also have... Hello, Beatrice. hello to you as well. Nice to see you back with us. Of course, he is here, as usual, a wonderful, wonderful, super top fan watching in France. It is Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you back with us as well. Faribourz is here. Hello to you. I haven't seen you for a long time. Nice to see you back with us. Giovanni is here. How are you all doing around the globe? I hope we are all doing okay, because in some parts of the world things are quite dramatic and unpleasant, whilst in other parts of the world people are having a rather nice time. Hello, Javi. Nice to see you as well. Also, Giovanni. I think I just said hello. Did I? Did I just say hello to Giovanni? I think so. Also, Claudia again. Claudia, what's cooking in your pot? Please let us know. Thank you very much for letting me know. If you can tell me, I would be very fascinated to find out. Hello to Marcia. Hello, Marcia. Nice to see you back with us as well. Very kind as well. Palmyra says, I use a very small brush to pick my teeth. Yes, I know the sort of thing you mean, because I normally use those things when I'm cleaning my teeth in the morning and in the afternoon and at night. So they are special things for going in between your teeth. However, I have to say I really do love my toothpick. I like to carry a toothpick in my pocket everywhere I go. The only problem is sometimes you go into your pocket, you reach into your pocket to get something, and the toothpick will stick into your finger like that, and you end up with a toothpick embedded in your finger, which, to be honest with you, is not a very nice way of spending the day, if I was completely honest with you. We are back together. It is Sunday. It is only me today because, unfortunately, Mr. Steve has come down with influenza. That's all I can say. So I am looking for some sympathy, not for myself, but for Mr. Steve. He's upstairs at the moment. The sweat is rolling off his face. He is feverish, and he's not feeling very well, to be honest. Hello to Ashraf. Hello to you as well. Nice to see you back with us. Also, very kind of you to join us today. And it is always lovely to see you, because we have autumn right now. Autumn has arrived with a vengeance, because it really does look as if autumn is in the air. Now, you know I love the English language, and I have a feeling you like the English language as well. And I thought it would be interesting to have a look at a little topic, and this is something I like to talk about from time to time. Words in the English language that people often spell incorrectly. There are quite a few, but here are some common words that people might spell incorrectly. And there are many reasons why people might do that. So I'm not just talking about people who are learning English as a second language. I'm talking about everyone. Native English speakers, native English users as they write or type. Quite often they will spell words wrong. For example, we have necessary, something needed, something that is necessary, something that is vital, something you need to do something is necessary. Quite often, this particular word is spelt incorrectly. A lot of people forget whereabouts the double letter goes. So sometimes they put the double letter in the wrong place. Necessary, something that is needed, something vital, also something that is often misspelt. We also have receive as well. Receive is a very interesting word. To receive something is to get something, to have something given to you. You receive that thing. Another one of those strange words where the letters E and I are often swapped around. A lot of people get those wrong. And there is a very interesting way of remembering this. It is always I before E, except after C. So there is a very good way of remembering that. So if you want to remember how to spell that word, you can see that there is a letter C in that particular word. So I before E, except after C. And as you can see there, we have the word receive, another word that is often misspelt. And there's nothing wrong with it. Can I just say, there is nothing wrong with misspelling words, because we all do it. Even I do it from time to time. One of my most embarrassing moments, and it still exists on my YouTube channel, I did a lesson all about food, different types of food, words and phrases that we use when we are in a restaurant, ordering food. And I talked about the different types of meals. And one of them, of course, is dessert. Dessert is the thing that comes at the end of a meal. The sweet food is the dessert. The only problem is, in that lesson, I actually spelt the word wrong. I spelt it incorrectly. And it's still there in the lesson. It took me a long time to notice that. So there, once again, the word dessert and desert. They are two words that are sometimes confused, even by me. Sometimes, even I make mistakes, because I am just a human being. Here's another one, another word that is often misspelt. Fascinate. A lot of people forget that there is an S in fascinate. So quite often people will spell that word without the S. But there is a letter S in fascinate. Something that makes you look with amazement. Something that you want to look at for longer, something that captures your imagination. It is fascinating. Fascinate. You might fascinate another person. Perhaps you are an interesting person. Maybe you are attractive and beautiful. You might fascinate another person. So there is another word that is often misspelt, but it's normal. Even people who use English as their first language, quite often they will mispronounce it, by the way. That was interesting. Already, I think I might be catching Mr. Steve's flu. Already my throat is a little bit sore. Fascinate. Here's another one. A lot of people spell this incorrectly. They put two M's instead of one. There is only one M in amount. However, a lot of people do. They spell it incorrectly. they assume that there must be two M's in amount, but there are not. There is only one. Amount, the number of something, the quantity of something, a thing that you have in a certain portion, the amount of things you have. Here's another one. Oh, failure. Another one, often misspelt. A lot of people will misspell this particular word. Failure, something that is not successful. A person who tries to do something but they don't do it very well. They are a failure. They fail. So again, you might fail at spelling failure. So if you try to spell this word and you spell it wrong, we can say that your attempt to spell this word was a failure. So there it is, another word that is often misspelt. Here is a common one. This might be one of the most common spelling mistakes that people make in English. Definitely. Don't forget, there is no A in definitely. However, a lot of people do put the letter A in that word. They often put an A, but there are no A's in definitely. It is DEFINITLY. Definitely. Definitely. Another one, another commonly misspelt word, separate. Very easy to remember this one because rat. So you might say that there is, you see a rat, and that is how you remember the middle of that word. Separate or separate. To part something, to part one thing from another. You separate two things, or you split something, you separate it. You split, you divide, you separate something. Another one, this is a word that a lot of people use when they want to describe me. Weird. A lot of people, once again, confuse the position of the E and the I. Something I do from time to time. Sometimes I will write this word down very quickly and I will spell the word wrong. So, again, W-E-I-R-D. Weird. Something strange. Something unusual. Something odd. Something that is not the usual thing can be described as weird. And finally on this list we have accommodate. Again, another word with lots of double letters. 2 C's and 2 M's. Accommodate. If you can accommodate someone, it means you can allow them or you can let them in. You can give them some space. You can allow them to live alongside you. You accommodate something, to let something in or allow something to stay or be with you. You can accommodate something. You have room, you have space for that particular thing. You can accommodate them. I really do wish that Mr. Steve was here today, but unfortunately he is not. There is no Steve today because he's in bed. He's ill again. I don't know how he does it because Mr. Steve is very unusual in the fact that he always worries about his health. He does lots of things to try and stay healthy. But it doesn't mean that you are not going to become sick from time to time. So I think Mr. Steve has caught influenza quite bad. Not a nice thing to have. You can have all sorts of problems with your temperature and your breathing and all sorts of things. It is definitely not COVID. Before anyone asks, it is not COVID, because Mr. Steve did a test this morning, so it is definitely not that. However, Steve is very careful with his diet. He's always careful when he eats and how much of certain things he has. Sugar. He doesn't eat a lot of sugar or processed food. However, he's always ill. What about me? Oh, don't ask. I love sugar. I love processed food. I love sweet things. And I have a feeling you know that already. But yes, I do enjoy lots and lots of different types of unhealthy food. But do I have influenza? No. Not yet anyway. Time will tell. So if I'm not here on Wednesday, you'll know why. You'll know that Mr. Duncan is in bed also with influenza. Not a very nice situation to find yourself in, to be honest. It is English Addict, and we are with you today live from England. We have a very interesting subject to talk about today. Cheating. To cheat. It's a big word. It's also a big subject. It is something that lots of people do at some point in their life, even if they say they don't ever cheat. I can tell you now that they do. We all do it. Even if it's very small, even if it's a very small thing. Sometimes people will cheat. And that is today's subject. We will have a quick break. I am going to show you some beautiful autumn scenes, because now we are enjoying the autumn season here in England, and I have to say everything is looking rather magnificent. Keep it here. English Addict is with you live from the birthplace of the English language. a big boy now. How are you today? It's Sunday, it's a fun day, it's time to learn English day. That is what it actually is. And we are back live. Yes, English Addict is with you on a Sunday afternoon. Sadly, we are missing one person, and that is Mr. Steve. Unfortunately, he has a case of the flu. I think so. I'm not a doctor, and nor is Mr. Steve, but it does look as if he has a very bad case of the flu. Can I just say there are many different things going around at the moment. Everyone is coming down with colds and coughs and all sorts of fevers. And I think one of the reasons is we've had a very mild spell of weather. So it isn't exactly very cold. In fact, today it's around 15 Celsius, which for November is very weird when you think about it. So already we are into November and the temperature is still incredibly mild. It feels like springtime rather than the approach towards winter. But that is the reason why, I think. I think the main reason is because it's so warm, it's so mild, everyone is spreading their germs everywhere. And you know how easy that can happen. So Mr. Steve is not very well. It remains to be seen if I catch it. At the moment, I don't feel too bad, even though my throat, I noticed today my throat is a little bit sore. Is that the early sign? So maybe I will eventually come down with the same thing. We will see what happens. Anyway, we are here together. It's nice to see you. What is the difference between weird and weirdo? Weird is just the general description of a person. If we describe someone as a weirdo, we are saying that they are really strange. Maybe in an unpleasant way. You might describe someone as a weirdo if they are really odd. Maybe they have some habits that are questionable. So maybe something that might be wrong or even illegal. They are a weirdo. So we often use the word weirdo to describe a person who is really strange. However, you might just describe something as weird. Maybe you have a strange feeling. Maybe you feel unwell. You feel dizzy. You might say that you feel weird. I feel weird. I had a weird feeling. My head was spinning around and round like a record. Like a record, baby. Spinning me round like a record, baby. We are here today to talk about the English language. We also, of course, we have you as well on the live chat. It would not be English Addict without you. We are going to go through a big subject. I might have to take a break from time to time because my throat is feeling a little uncomfortable today. And as you can guess, in my job I have to have my voice working 100%, or else I might have a big problem. So just in case I have a problem with my throat, I might disappear, but then I will come back. So don't worry, don't panic too much. Here we go then, today's big subject, and it is a big subject, to cheat. Cheat, words and phrases. So in this situation we are talking about an action or an act, something a person does towards another person. A type of action or behaviour. So first of all we have cheat as a noun. So as a noun, generally speaking, it is a person who cheats. For example, you might warn another person, don't play poker with him. He is a cheat. So if we describe someone as a cheat, we are saying that person is not to be trusted. Maybe they are going to try and trick you into doing something, or maybe they play the game unfairly. Maybe they do things to give themselves an advantage. So a person who cheats is a person who often looks for some sort of advantage, especially in other people. Also, as a noun, we can say that a dishonest deal. So there we have a dishonest deal. A dishonest deal is something that is done, but maybe it is not fair. Perhaps the person who is doing the deal is actually doing something they should not. Maybe they are trying to play a trick, or maybe they are trying to get your money without giving you anything in return. So when we talk about a dishonest deal, we are talking about something that has been done but might not be legal or fair. The lease on the house is a cheat. So in this sense we are describing the actual thing as a cheat. So that thing is wrong, or maybe it has no value, or maybe it is being done in a misleading way. We can describe something as a cheat, a thing, maybe a document, something that has been signed, but it has no value. It is useless. It has no value. So you might describe something as a cheat in the sense of it being a noun. Once again, we can use the word cheat to mean an imposter, a person who pretends to be something they are not, or maybe they stand in for another person. They are pretending to be something they are not, or maybe they are pretending to be a person who they are not. They are a cheat. That person is described in the form of a noun as a cheat. He claims to be a relative, but he is a cheat. A person who is pretending to be another person can be described as an imposter. And I do like that word. I have to say that is quite an interesting word, imposter. To pretend to be another person, someone you are not. Now we have the word cheat as a verb. To deceive or lie. To cheat as a verb. So in this sense we are using the action form of the word. So if we say that we cheat someone, to deceive someone, or to lie to another person, be careful. He will try to cheat you of your money. To cheat someone of something. That means you are actively deceiving someone. You are making a person believe something that is not true or not real. It does happen quite a lot. There are many examples of a person who has cheated. They will cheat, especially when it comes to money. A lot of people will cheat other people for money. To mislead or betray someone. So there is a nice word, another one, betray. You betray someone, you go against them, or you do something that might be harmful to them. So we might describe the action of cheating towards another person as being harmful. You betray that person. You mislead that person. You make them believe something that is not true or something that is not actually happening. We have a sentence underneath. I left him because he was cheating on me. To cheat on someone. If you cheat on someone, or if you are cheating on someone, it means you are deceiving them. You are doing something that they are unaware of. Something that they do not know about. Perhaps you are going out with a handsome man, and he seems such a nice gentleman. He seems to be so charming and wonderful, but unfortunately he has a few secrets that he hasn't told you about. He hasn't told you about his wife and his 6 children. So he's misleading you, he's cheating you, he's making you believe he is free and available, when in fact he is not. He is quite the opposite, in fact. Once again, as a verb, the word cheat can mean improper exam sitting. So when we talk about taking an exam, quite often we will say that you are sitting the exam. You are taking the exam. So perhaps you are taking a test or an exam and you know the answers already. Maybe you have had a look at the answers and you've remembered them, or you've written them down on your hand. There are many ways of cheating in an exam. One of the hardest things to cheat is your English exam, especially your oral English. It is very hard to cheat an oral English exam because you have to say those things, you have to speak, you have to react, you have to think. So that is one of the reasons why during most English tests they will also test your ability to answer questions orally. It's a very good way of making sure that person is not cheating in any way. So if you ask a person to speak or to answer a question using English, then that is the best way to work out whether or not their level of English is very high. I would say that in the English test, I think the oral test is one of the most important, because with that you have to think a lot about what you're going to say. You have to also be very confident when you're doing it. So that type of exam is putting many things to the test. I was able to cheat the test because I already saw the answers. To cheat in an exam, you do something and then you know what the questions will be, and because of that you also know what the answers are. Once again, to cheat as a verb, to use an unfair advantage. Now this is an interesting one. In the world we live in, there are many things that give us a certain advantage. Your position in a company. Maybe you are a manager. Maybe you are the boss of a company. Maybe you are wealthy. Ooh, maybe you have lots of money. Well, sometimes that wealth can be used to cheat. You can use certain things, certain attributes as a way of cheating. Maybe your power, your position, or perhaps the fact that you have a lot of money. You can buy people or favours. You can get what you want simply by paying for it. It is another way of cheating. I often cheat by taking steroids before one of my English lessons. No, that's wrong. I often cheat by taking steroids before a race. So if you cheat as a verb, it means you use an unfair advantage, something you have that you decide to use as a way of getting more or getting something. Maybe something that you are not entitled to. Yes, Mr. Duncan, and even outside the tests, when we meet someone who shows off his or her skills in English, and then just a word or two are enough to understand that level, or if they really use it. I think by that you mean a person is able to express themselves by saying very little. And I always say that a person who can speak English does not have to say a lot of things to express themselves. In fact, I think one of the biggest skills is saying less, but still giving lots of information. So maybe you say a little, maybe you use just a few words, but you can still express yourself in a big way. I think it is a very important thing to remember. You don't have to keep using words to express what you want to say. One of the best ways to speak English is to keep it short. Brevity is the soul of wit, as our old friend the Bard once said. The word cheat refers to a person who cheats. So in this sense, we are saying the person is a cheat. They cheat. So we are using both ways of describing that word or expressing that word as a noun and also as a verb as well. So the person who cheats is a cheat. Of course, we can also have the action of cheating. And in a sentence, we can say that the cheater cheats. It's okay, I'm still here. Meanwhile, I'm so glad you can't hear what I'm doing. Let's just say, I think I might be coming down with Mr. Steve's influenza. I really do. So a person who is cheating is a cheater. They cheat. The cheater cheats. They are a person who will probably deceive someone. They are not to be trusted. Here's another interesting word. To con someone. And there is the word just underneath. Con. C-O-N. If you con someone, it means you do something to trick another person into believing something is real when it is not. You con someone into believing something, or you deceive them into giving something of value. And I think this is one of the most common things that people do, especially if they are trying to get something that they really, really want. Some people are so desperate. Some people are desperate. They will do anything to get something from another person, even if it means cheating that person. To con someone into believing something or deceive them into giving something of value. Of course, we are talking about money. It is common for someone to cheat another person out of their money. Horrible behaviour. To ignore the rules and take shortcuts to achieve something is cheat. If you are one of those people who likes to play the computer games, blop, 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 beep, 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 blop, 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 blop. If you like to play computer games, I'm not quite sure what that game was. I think it may have been Pac-Man. Who remembers Pac-Man? I can't do the sounds. But if you are a person who likes to play computer games, sorry about that. I'm definitely coming down with something. I think I may have caught Mr. Steve's influenza. Oh, please everyone, send me your regards. Send me your warm wishes. If you do play computer games, quite often you will try to cheat the game. You try to find some way of making the game easier to play. So quite often you will try to cheat that game. We can also use it as a noun in that respect. So maybe you might look at a website, or maybe another friend will tell you, one of your friends, one of your other gamers will tell you all of the cheats in the game, ways of making the game work for you is to cheat. A person might gain a reputation of being a cheat. Yes, it's true. That is one of the problems with being a person who is a cheat. It can give you a bad reputation. It can give you a bad name or a bad character. So it can happen quite often where a person who misleads other people, if they lie, if they cheat, it is possible to be given that reputation. You have a reputation for being a cheat. You are not to be trusted. Did I miss something out then? Yes, they are not to be trusted. A person can be cheated out of something. Again, we are talking about one person deceiving another person. So if one person cheats another person out of something, it means they are using their influence or their charm, or maybe they have a story that they have made up about their background or their history. So they cheat to get something. As an example sentence, he cheated me out of my nest egg. He cheated me out of my nest egg. What is a nest egg, Mr. Duncan, I hear you ask? A nest egg is something that normally is an amount of money or savings, something you have that you've decided to keep for your later years or when you get older, something that you might need in an emergency, a small amount of money or a large amount of money that you've put away, maybe in a bank account. So a person might be cheated out of their savings. Again, not very nice. To cheat is to con, deceive, mislead, scam. There's another interesting word, scam. A very current word. That is a word that we often use nowadays when we want to describe a person who is cheating another person, or of course the action of cheating. You scam someone. We also have hoodwink. To hoodwink is to cheat or mislead someone. Then we have dupe. If you dupe someone, it means you are cheating them. Swindle. To swindle a person or a thing is to get something by cheating. You swindle your company for money. You cheat. You do something that will give you a benefit, some sort of gain. We also have trick. Of course, you can trick someone into doing something. You might trick a person into marrying you because you want their money. Cross a person. If you cross someone, it means you do something against another person. You cross them. So if you cheat a person, if you do something against another person that might cause them harm, either physically or emotionally, we can say that you cross them. So there are many words we can use to describe cheating. To fool someone is cheat. It is a deceptive act. To manipulate someone or something is to cheat. You are making something appear or you are making something behave in a way that is an advantage to you, something you are trying to get, something you are trying to do. You cheat that person. Deceptive. Something that is deceptive is something that is misleading. A misleading thing is a deceptive thing. And, of course, manipulate. You can manipulate a person. Not very nice. A trickster will try to gain something by cheating. A person might carry out a scam to cheat someone. So if you scam someone, it means you are targeting that person. You are trying to get something from that person. You are tricking them. You are misleading them. You are cheating that person. We often use the word scam. It is a very modern word. It is probably the most common word we use nowadays when a person is cheating another person. A con can also be described as a scam. So if you con someone, it means you are misleading them, you are cheating them. So con can also be a scam. There are many ways of performing a scam on another person. You might make them believe that they have to give you details of their private life, maybe their address or their phone number, or maybe their bank account details, or even the code on their credit card. So normally when we scam someone, that thing is described as a scam. So we can have the word scam as a noun, that is the thing, or we can use it as a verb. You scam another person. You cheat that person out of something. By misleading them, you cheat them. The person doing the bad deed can be described as a con man. I have to say, these days we don't often use the word con man because, of course, it is gender specific. So these days we often say scammer. A person who is cheating you is a scammer. That person is trying to cheat you. Maybe we describe that person as a con artist. When we describe someone as a con artist, they are a person who uses their character or their charm to get something from another person. Most of the time, it's money. They are after money. And of course, we can use the word fraudster as well. A person who is a fraudster is a person who is trying to trick another person into giving them money. Fraud. It is to mislead or to cheat in a certain way to get something. Once again, quite often it is money. I think it would be fair to say these days, the strange world that we are living in, a lot of people are trying to scam or cheat each other. I'm not sure if technology has made things easier or harder. I think, to be honest with you, I think these days it's become easier to cheat other people because of technology. It's much easier to get other people's information or their personal details. It has become much easier. So you do have to be careful. I always think of people who are slightly more mature or older. Sometimes a person who wants to cheat others will have a target. They are going to target a certain group of people because they find it easier to cheat them. Not a very nice thing, to be honest with you. I will be going soon. It is a short English Addict today for two reasons. One, Mr. Steve is ill. We think he has the flu. And number two, I think I might be coming down with the flu as well. I have a sore throat today. That's all I have. But it is a slight worry because I think maybe I already have caught Mr. Steve's flu. So hopefully I will see you on Wednesday. I really do hope I will be here on Wednesday. If I'm not here on Wednesday, you will know why. You will know that I am probably in bed, suffering. We will see what happens anyway. There will be a new lesson coming up during the week. There are many new lessons on my YouTube channel. A lot of people don't seem to realise that I am uploading new lessons all the time. There is always new content going onto my YouTube channel. So it is always a good idea to check my YouTube channel and have a look at the video list. And there you will see all of the new videos that I've put on, the most recent videos, including my live streams as well, which you can watch as many times as you want. Thank you very much for your company today. I am going because my throat is not feeling great. I will be honest with you. My throat is slightly sore. There is so much going around. Viruses, bugs, fever, colds, influenza, and the other thing. Yes, that is also still around, unfortunately. So I will see you later. I hope you've enjoyed this slightly shorter than usual English Addict Lewis says, my provider of the internet was pirated and my bank account details were taken away. This is something that happens quite often now. Internet fraud, we often describe it as. So if you have internet fraud, it means a person is getting hold or they have access to information that they are not supposed to have. It is very common and not much fun. I have as well been a victim of fraud. It does happen, especially when you use your debit card or your credit card. So I don't use a credit card, but I do have a debit card. And sometimes, if I use my card in a certain place, a few days later, I will notice that there are other payments that have been made that are not mine. So it has happened in the past. One of the good things these days is banks are very good at returning the money. So they will always help you as much as they can if you are a victim of fraud. But that, as they say, is life and the modern world. It is not perfect by a long way. See you later. I am going now. I'm going to have a drink. I will make Mr. Steve a cup of tea. I imagine he is ready for it. And I will see you very soon. Hopefully on Wednesday I will be here. We will see what happens. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English. That is, of course, England, saying thanks for watching. See you later. See you soon. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Take care of yourself. Stay well. Stay happy. Don't catch influenza. And I will see you soon. And of course, ta-ta for now.